Oh, change. Change is something that doesn't come naturally for our brain. Honestly, our mind will seek comfort over something different, and it will seek an familiar, even pain, than it will an unfamiliar pleasure. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, well, I know somebody that's not true for, and yes, there are some people that don't fit exactly in that mold. But overall, I mean, we're looking anywhere from 90+%, and that's a high percentage. Change typically is creating resistance. And the reason why is because in order to change, the old version of us or the old way of doing something is having a psychological death, and our mind resists that. In order to get someone to change, we are convincing their mind that it is safe to change. And in order to make that unfamiliar familiar, there are typical stages of change that happen, which is the trans-theoretical model. Now, in this model and in the stages of change, it's really important to notice these, because if you are wanting someone else to change, or maybe you're inviting someone to change, if you're a coach of any sort, a business of any sort, right? Like you're getting someone to make a new behavior, or this might be that you're wanting to make a behavior change for yourself. And the first stage within the change spectrum is pre-contemplation. Now, a lot of times we hear this and we're like, well, great, they're pre-contemplating, meaning there's an action being taken. But that's not the case in this model and how our brains work. Typically, we're in this stage where we're like, I don't think I have a problem. I don't know I have a problem. I'm not thinking about a problem. Like, I'm completely disassociated from the problem. It's not being considered at all. That is pre-contemplation stage. Now, within the marketing world, I tend to see a lot of people try to market to these people. And that is not a good thing when you're a business owner or if you're trying to make a sale, because we would only do that once our business is already making money, once there are already systems in place, once we've already tackled all the other opportunities, and then we're then reinvesting money into this longer term game of then getting people and educating them. So there's pre-contemplation. Contemplation is when you know you have a problem, but you're not really set on like making a change yet, right? Like, so it's like, yeah, I know I don't have the best eating habits, but this is just the way I am. I don't want to change. I like the food I like. Okay. Now, this is important again, because again, if you are approaching sales or a family member or a friend or anything of that sort, and you're trying to convince this person that they need to change, the amount of times that you have to talk about the change and get them to believe, not just them, but their subconscious to believe, because there's the conscious mind that you're typically talking to, and then the subconscious mind is something different. I think it's around 19 times consistently within a certain period, a certain window, in order for them to entertain moving into preparation stage. Okay? So pre-contemplation, don't have a problem. Contemplation, I have a problem, but not really planning on doing anything about it. Then there's preparation stage, means you've made the choice to then make the change, but you're not taking action in the change yet. You are just now in the research stage where you're exploring. And this is really important for the mindset, because this is where the mind really starts to entertain, what does change look like? If you skip this stage, generally relapse is bigger. So this is where I highly recommend doing hypnosis, doing hypnotherapy, doing meditation techniques, really talking about it, having a coach, and starting to get yourself into allowing your nervous system, your subconscious, all the things to really feel prepared to then take the action. Now, I will say, in my experience, I see people hover between this and the action stage where they might tiptoe into action and then they come back and revisit. And they tiptoe into action and they come back and revisit. Very rarely do I see people go, okay, I'm preparing. Here's everything I need to do. Okay, action, go. And then they're just full in action mode. Because it takes a lot of strong reassurance and commitment to just make the jump. Most people don't just make the jump. Now, if you can get yourself to do that, right, like with special techniques, with coaches, things along that lines, that will make that jump easier. Okay? So now you've taken the action, and that action phase is generally around 90 days. 90 days of consistent behavior change. Not everyone does the daily change and action, so then that might take longer. But overall, it's going to be about 90 days of action before you move into the maintenance phase. Now, this again is not a phase that people are typically prepared for. They're like, okay, I just put in all of this work to change. And even for coaches, like making sure that you're supporting people just as much during that maintenance phase, because it's so easy to relapse during the maintenance phase because you've already expended all of this energy in the action phase, that when you get to the maintenance phase, it's like, I just want to break. I just want to go do my old comfort things, right? So if you haven't done that hypnotherapy to really rewire the mind, or that deeper subconscious work, the maintenance phase is even harder, and relapse again comes back even faster. Then relapse is something that's been being included into this trans-theoretical model more, because statistically the rate of relapse, and again, there's factors that determine that based on my own experience of coaching for a very long time, that there are factors that lead to relapse happening if those stages are not adequately approached and completed. Then we typically don't have as much of a strong foundation for maintenance phase. When relapse happens, they will be put back into this spectrum of stages of change. Doesn't mean that they always go back to the beginning, but sometimes that does occur. And positive reinforcement is going to be so much better for yourself and for others, to let them know, like, yes, you've made changes, you've done well, and to continue to, what I say a lot is that, what do you want to start, stop, and continue doing? You get to enter this phase again, and it's like a spiral that we might go through the same phase of change over and over, but the amount of time to get to maintenance phase starts shortening until you reach a top and it's fully integrated, and where you can catch yourself in the moment when something is coming back, that your nervous system has rewired. And when I say nervous system, it's because your habits, your autonomic nervous system, is what is holding on to those habits as well as your mind. And so we have to purge them out and bring the new in. And shaming, blaming, feeling guilty, that is not what's going to integrate it. It is going to be love, compassion, positive reinforcement. So whether, again, you're trying to get a child to change, a family member to change, if you are a coach and trying to get people to change, or if you're trying to change yourself, I'd love for you to consider, like, where are they, or where are you in this stage of change? And then we can look at the processes to get them closer to that action with love and support. All right. If you are looking to make some changes in your life, then I'm going to encourage you to jump on a free insight coaching call. This is not me telling you what to do. This is me holding space for you to come to these conclusions of where you're at, where the pain and suffering is, where you want to be, and what is getting in the way of that, so that you can work yourself through those stages of changes, because honestly, someone telling you what to do typically does not get you through the stages. You have to make the decisions to step from one step into the next. And then if you're looking to do that bigger transformation, our hypnotherapy packages, our Root to Rise method is part of our smaller hypnotherapy package. We've got corrective alignment therapy, where we really are shifting and using all of the modalities from mind, emotions, physical, yoga therapy, hypnotherapy. We're using it all. Everything holistic is coming together for the full mind, body, soul, emotion integration for ultimate healing. It is such a beautiful self-awareness process of becoming hyper aware of yourself, what's going on in your mind, what's the mind-body connection, where are the emotions being stuck, and how can you get yourself to a point where you absolutely love your life. All right. I hope to see you or talk to you later. Bye.